Hey, good evening, good evening. Greetings, how are you? Welcome. This evening we're going to have a positive live, little motivational content to get people up and going. Greetings, greetings, greetings. I'm going to wait for a few minutes. I'm sharing out the live. Please help me do the same. Share out the live. We'll get some people in here. We'll process a few things and we'll go from there. Let's do it. I'm going to share out the live with 5 people. I'm going to see who pops in here and we will go from there. All right, I'm just sharing. Give me a moment. Greetings, greetings. Those that are jumping in there. Greetings, welcome. Dr. Lewis, your favorite coach. We're going to have a little positive motivational session this evening. We work too hard not to live the lives that we want to. So I want to tap into that a little bit, process and unpack, and ask some of you why. Why not, right? We work too hard not to live the life that we want to. Why are we struggling, right? I'll tell you, part of the reason we struggle is for a lack of goals. People lack goals around big things. Some people say things like, oh, I just want to play it safe, so I'll set small goals. Type a 1 in the comments if you're used to setting small goals. 1 in the comments if you set small goals. Some of you going to be like, Dr. Lewis, you talking to me. Type a 1 in the chat if you're used to setting small goals. Some people want to play it safe. Some people, Gina, I see you. Okay. Who else is going to be vulnerable? Type a 1 in the comments if you're used to setting small goals. Looking for some momentum. Looking for some traction. If I set this small goal, it's going to set me up for the next goal and the next goal, right? So here's the problem with that. When we set small goals, it's hard to move to an abundance mindset. It's hard to move to a high leverage goal setting state because we're used to setting small goals. We're used to playing it safe because if we set this small goal, we have a higher likelihood of success. Another reason people struggle when it comes to this thing called life is because if we have experienced repeated failure, that takes some marks down on our level of confidence. Repeated failure definitely impacts confidence. Repeated success is a boost to confidence. So if you play the game right and you're thinking, well, I set these small goals and I have success, I have success, I have success, I have some momentum. However, you're still stuck in this realm of only setting small goals. How many of you have struggled? Greetings, greetings, everyone that's just jumping in. How many of you have struggled with setting a big goal? How many of you have attempted a big goal and experienced failure? Put a 2 in the comments. If you set a big goal with no success, put a 2 in the comments right now. If you've ever set a big goal and haven't had any success, put a 2 in the comments. Be honest, be vulnerable. That's the way you grow. Sometimes it's simple things, right? Or what people perceive as simple things, right? There you go, Gina. And here you go, Gina. What you got to take away from those struggles is there are lessons to learn in every opportunity. Your struggle is an opportunity. I'm not going to say it's a comfortable opportunity, but it is an opportunity. And what we have to do is lean in to those opportunities and pull out those lessons that are there to be learned. Here's another thing. Here's another thing where people fall flat. A lot of our adults fall flat with this idea. We think when we're not, greetings and welcome, we think when we're not in an educational institution, our learning has stopped. Yep, we think, well, I'm not in school, I'm not getting a certification, I'm not getting a degree, I'm not, taking classes, so I'm not learning. We are learning all the time. We have to lean into those opportunities. And what that looks like is this. I was coaching a client recently and they were saying that, I said, why do you work? And they said, for a paycheck. Type a 1 in the comments if you work just for a paycheck. Be vulnerable, be honest. Put a 1 in the comments right now if your only reason for working is a paycheck. And it's okay. Put a 1 in there. There you go. I see you, Gina. Appreciate it. If you work just for a paycheck, put a 1 in the comments. And why I see you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Keep it going. If you work just for a paycheck, if your only reason for work is a paycheck, put a 1 in the comments. Inspiration to all. I see you. Appreciate you, brother. So here's what I want to tap into with that. Oh, I see. Okay, Gina. Gina putting it all out there. So here's what I want to tell you, Momo, I see you. And those of you that have responded, thank you. Thank you for your engagement. Thank you for participating. Let's move forward with it. When you work just for a paycheck, you are missing the abundance of opportunities that surround you in your work environment. You are missing the holistic experience of work. Here's what I mean by that. So give me an example. Someone throw it out there. One of you all that put a 1 in the comments, working for a paycheck. Give me an example of the field that you're in or the profession, whatever it is. Just type it in the comments so I can work with a realistic example. One of you all that put a 1 in there. And why I see you, Momo, inspiration. Give me your field. You don't even have to give me your leave out any identifying information. Okay, change your mindset. So therapist, okay, let's take that. So if you're working just for a paycheck in the realm of therapy, and first and foremost, salute to you for being in this live, okay? Or a city bus driver, if you're working just for a paycheck, you're missing the opportunities to tap into what's around you each day throughout your work shift. And what I mean, let's take the therapist example here, right? So you have a variety of clients that you engage with. And instead of working with them and coaching them through, some troubles that they're having, if you really lean into the overall work experience, you're learning more than just how to help people navigate problems. You're learning how to meet people where they are. You're learning organizational aspects. I'm not sure if you're at the top of your organization, they're change your mindset, or if you're working under someone. If you're not at the top, you're missing the opportunity to learn from those at the top of your organization because you're working that job for a paycheck only, right? So you're also missing the opportunity to network beyond your current organization because the people at the top are networking. They're forming partnerships. There may be partnerships with employee assistance programs across the country or locally, right? There may be opportunities to present at conferences. There may be opportunities to collaborate with other organizations that provide the service of therapy. But when we go in just for a paycheck, we have this narrow focus. I'm just here for a paycheck. So I'm going to do my job. And I'm not saying it doesn't mean that you're going to do your job poorly or anything. Not saying that at all. I'm saying when you focus on that one thing, that paycheck, you miss all the opportunities. I'm going to go to city bus driver for a minute. City bus driver, in that role, and thank you for that service to the community, to the people of that community. In that role, you engage with so many different people on any given day. Do you have your regulars? Of course, right? City bus driver, you have the opportunity to help people navigate through some problems, right? Outside of being a therapist or a licensed practitioner, right? You also have the opportunity to expand your network to support some people, but the job that I feel is my purpose is not. Change your mindset. I love that you wrote that in there. We're going to tap into that shortly. We are going to tap into that shortly, and thank you. So what I'm trying to say is when you're in these jobs, be open-minded to everything around you. The organizational aspects, how the leaders run the organization at the top level and how it trickles down, how the leaders communicate within that organization, right? Even as a city bus driver, how you're assigned your shift, right? Who do you go to for problems? Who does your benefits? The HR. How does HR handle things? How timely is the communication? Does HR make you feel like you're receiving unreasonable hospitality or you're just another coworker, right? So tap into all those things so that way you're not missing the opportunities and change your mindset. This is how you level up and take it to the next level. Learn the skill set or skill sets within your current place as a therapist, right? And apply that to where you feel your purpose is. So let me ask you, change your mindset. Where do you feel like your purpose is? Because I'm going to be vulnerable for a minute. My background is in education. So I was a teacher for 7 years. I didn't have enough years in to have a big teacher salary, right? So I actually hit a 6-figure salary by doing some other things that I was passionate about. consulting, coaching, right? Teaching men's groups. Okay, so why is there no money in that? Change your mindset. Why do you believe that there's no money in that? How the leaders in the organization is the reason why. So inspiration to all. It's so funny you say that, and thank you, right? I was just talking to a client about this recently, and I said sometimes when you're in an organization, and everyone doesn't teach you this, right? Even if you go to college and all these places, they don't necessarily teach you this. You're always learning. You are always learning. Sometimes you are learning what not to do, how not to handle a situation, how not to respond based on those leaders that Inspiration 2.0 is talking about, how the leaders are running that organization. That's the reason why I just work paycheck. Here's the thing, Inspiration 2.0, don't give the leaders that much power. You be your best you, regardless of how those leaders, because you can't control that. All you can control is you. When we start focusing on, I'm just working paycheck to paycheck, we stop being the best version of ourselves because the way people over here are doing something, I'm gonna move this way over here. Nope. Be the best version of you and you will be rewarded greatly. It's biblical. Give your best and you'll be rewarded greatly. And change your mindset. I was waiting for you to chime back in about why do you think that there's not a lot of money in that field, right? Here's the thing. If you truly leveled up, change your mindset, and you were the best person teaching men's BIPP groups, if you were the best at that, you got a skill set that no one's touching. And when you have a skill set that no one is touching, there is tons of money to be made. And here's the thing, change your mindset. Like I said, I touched 6 figures before I hit 7 years in the classroom. And again, I didn't have a huge teaching salary, so I had to make that remaining difference up with the skill set that I developed through coaching. Okay, batterers intervention program. My day job was a small company, but then got bought out. Gotcha. And here's the thing, change your mindset. When these small companies get bought out, or prior to that happening, your wheels should be turning. Like, what am I going to do next? Because here's the key to really leveling up. You want a skill set that's unmatched. You want to be amongst the best, right? My dad taught me at a young age, and I ended up playing college football. And he taught me this at a young age. He said, you don't have to be the best. You just have to be good. I didn't know what in the world my dad was talking about. My dad didn't play football, so I'm like, huh? And sometimes it's the simplest advice that makes the biggest impact. So I said, okay. And he'd always go, hey, just be good. Just be good. Okay. So that earned me my scholarship. I only played 4 years in high school, and actually 3 out of 4, and I earned my scholarship. So I'm trying to restructure the curriculum being taught in that program. That will make me the best. Absolutely. Do your research. Change your mindset. And congratulations to you for having over 600 clients. I don't know how you do it. You must not be meeting with these people every day. But listen, continue to build your skill set, sharpen your skills, and level up that way. And again, inspiration to all. I hope that helps you. Be your best you, regardless what those leaders that run the organization are doing. Because this is in every organization. I'm going to tell you right now, we sit here and we act like that organization over there must be perfect. People leave Google. People leave Tesla. All it takes is one erroneous tweet and they're gone, right? People leave these places. Greetings, and welcome. So we have to stop worried about everything that the leaders are doing because we're a part of that. Oh, thank you so kindly. We're a part of that organization, but only thing that we can control is us. Only thing that we can change is us. We can't change those leaders. Don't even fight that fight. And if we think we're going to fight that fight by pouting and doing the whole, well, I'm only working paycheck. This is what it sounds like in some professions. Well, I'm not staying 1 minute after my contractual time because you're so riled up with those leaders, with their actions and how you can't control them. So this is what you do on a subconscious level. You already have it in your mind. You're going to pout and posture. And then what happens in reality? You go from your subconscious mind, your thoughts about it, to your actions. Yep. Don't ask me to stay late. I ain't doing it. Don't ask me to pick up nothing that I'm not supposed to pick up, because I ain't picking it up. And then we have this toxicity. We have this unspoken resentment. Unspoken resentment is so powerful because it holds us back. It holds us back. It holds on to us and we hold on to it. And inspiration too, I just say it because I'm speaking from my own professional experience, right? When you're at the top of an organization, everyone under you is pouting and doing the whole, well, I'm not giving this and I'm not giving that. And then you look at the organization as a whole and the status of it, and you're like, man, what's going on with that organization? Everyone's walking around pouting. Everyone's blaming someone and pouting at them because they can't control their actions. Wow. Yep. I hear you. I hear you. Change your mindset. And it's interesting because I was telling my team, it was just like, I just got to a place where I saw a vision for something better. And my mantra was, if I can't find it, build it. Build it. And it doesn't take a bunch of degrees. There's people with less degrees or no degrees that are building it every single day. That's why I'm telling you all, when I was like, you know what? I want to touch six figures. And I knew that as an educator, I had to be in here like 20 plus years to hit six figures as a teacher. I was like, nah, I want it right now. Yes, wow. My mindset shifted. I felt like our patience became numbers and metrics to me. Listen, I'm be honest. When I played college ball, when some of our older players, myself included, our senior class was just like, hold up, they treating us like we're just a number, like we're just a scholarship that's about to run out. Like we had an epiphany, had a little rebellion in there. And I'll be honest, we went from leading the nation in rushing in previous seasons to like struggling to get a first down because we pouted. They pouted, they treated us a certain way, and we pouted. And at the end of the day, nobody won. This is what happens in fields where there's people in a position of influence, like the medical field, the educational field. Too many sides are pouting, and the most vulnerable suffers. The patients, the students, right? Whoo. Y'all got me going for a minute. Listen, I'm here to inspire. I'm here to motivate. I'm here to remind you all and change your mindset. You already know this, but I want to say it anyway. When people start making you feel like you're just a number or a metric, start planning your exit. Start planning your exit. Don't get so wrapped up in the how. Just do great. Just be your best. And I always tell people, because I've been in professions where people come and go all the time, and especially when I was coaching college football, it's like we lose coaches, not just a coach, coaches every season. Woo! There you go. Yes, get that book out there. Get that book out there, right? Don't waste too much time. Get that book out there. Write that book and push it forward. Get you an editor, clean it up, and either self-publish or find a publishing company. Get that book out. And as you say that, just hits home for me. Like I've worked with some great authors as well. I got a book right here called Cycles of Surrendering by Bev Randolph. One of the early authors that I worked with. Like I said, I do a lot of coaching work, right? So she sent me this, congrats, Dr. L. You know what I realized? I think if I flipped it or mirror video, maybe. There we go. Congrats, Dr. L. So I just wanted to try that feature out real quick. This mirror video. There we go. All right. Listen, push forward with that book, Change Your Mindset. Absolutely. Listen, there's things that we can do instead of sit back and pout, right? And here's the other thing too. Sometimes we do that with relationships. Sometimes we do that with conflict. We sit back and pout and we wait for the other side. I tell people this all the time. Stop acting like these two words, I'm sorry, starts your healing journey. I hate to break it to you this way. Those two words don't start your healing journey. When you are willing to release it and let go, that's when your healing journey starts. Think about this. We're all working professionals in this space, right? Think about how this is a real conversation amongst working professionals. So imagine what people are carrying into your work environment. Imagine what that person in the next cubicle over, that next classroom over, that next office over is carrying with them that they may not say. And I talked about this a little bit earlier, unspoken resentment. Oh, you ever hear that phrase, mean mug or a resting you know what face? That's what the unspoken resentment looks like. Deidre, greetings. Thanks for joining. Ooh, one heart. You came in here dropping some, wow. It feels like every time I'm over a relationship that ended, I find myself making myself available. Listen, I'll tell you. If you don't know, now you know. I'm going to tell you. So what's happening, One Heart, and thank you for joining us and thank you for being vulnerable. What's happening is you have a void. So you're ending a relationship, and while you're ending that or going through that process and letting go, you have a void there. It's kind of like when people are addicted to some form of intoxicant, alcohol, tobacco, whatever it is, and they stop. It's great that you've stopped. It's great that you've ended that relationship. But if you don't fill that void, you're going to make yourself available again because there's a void to be filled and you haven't replaced it with anything. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Truly a pleasure. Listen, thank you all for being here in this space and ask away. Put the comments in there. We're going to talk. What do I replace it with? Woo, the $1 million question. Hold on. Let me see if I got $1 million in my pocket. I only got 500,000. No, I'm kidding. So yeah. And you know what? One Heart and Deidre, I'm so glad you both are chiming in. And Deidre, you're like, I got that problem too. Listen, some of y'all on this live, like Dr. Lewis, you talking to me. I got you. Let's process that. So the heart of that question, what do I replace that with? I got you. Go back to your core values and beliefs. Your core values and beliefs will guide you to what you replace that with. And if you keep making yourself available because you don't know what exactly to replace that with, check your core values and beliefs and check what I call your non-negotiables. What are some things? Deidre, book that session. My link's in the bio, or you all can email me at drlewis@coachdrlewis.com. DM me. I got you. Hey, we'll set it up. But what do you replace it with, Deidre and everyone else? It has to be associated with your core values and your beliefs. If I tell you what to replace or fill that void with, guess whose values and beliefs it's going to be associated with? Mine. And you are not me. So what may work for me, what would fill a void for me exactly? What would fill a void for me may be so far removed for you, you might be like, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. And here's the thing, Deidre, and I don't know what your morning routine looks like, right? It may look like you may say, you know what, I ended that relationship. I've never journaled before. But I talked to Dr. Lewis. I was in his live and he talked about journaling. And not like I'm going to tell my journal all of my problems. No. I'm going to each day create a vivid description of me at my best as I journal. And it may sound like something like, I am so happy I am financially free. I am so happy I am choosing when I work. I am so happy I am attracting favor from all people. That's your work life. That's your home life, your relationship life. That's your personal life, your self-care life, all that stuff. When you get pulled over by the police and your goal has been you're attracting favor, here's the time to put it in practice. Yep. And the police says, okay, ma'am, you're free to go. Thank you for pulling over for me. You just had some favor. So I'm just giving you all a blueprint. Giving you all a blueprint that worked for me. I'm telling you, this is one of my books. I have plenty. I'll grab one right here. And Deidre and a few of you, I know that you're new to this live. You're like, who is Dr. Lewis? What? I got you. Let's talk. Let's talk. I'm gonna see what's in here. I just want to see if I have some data entries. Because that's what the work really is, right? When I could pull up some dates for y'all. Those are the receipts. Let me see. Give me a sec here, y'all. Okay. I am. Let me see. So I am happily raising my son. That was from early 2019. My son was born in the fourth quarter of 2020. And when I was writing this goal, my wife wasn't pregnant. Had no clue when she became pregnant that she was going to have a boy. But my goal, 10 goals a day, every single day at the top of it was I am happily raising my son. I'm going to circle back. Do you have a college student special? Listen, Deirdre. Listen. Let me ask you this question, Deirdre. And I think I know it's going to help you with the answer to your question. So Deirdre, let's say you were looking to open your own business or write and publish your own book, right? And you didn't think you could do it. But some coaching sessions with me helps you write said book, publish said book, and make a few $1,000s per month off of said book. How much would our coaching sessions be worth? And you don't have to answer that, Deidre, but I want you to think about that, right? If some coaching sessions with me could get you to do some things that you didn't even think were remotely possible, how much would that be worth for you? And I'll give a disclaimer, but I always keep everyone's business confidential because, that's the agreement when we coach. There are students that I coach in this live right now. There are students from my masterclass in this live right now. But I don't do that promoting and pushing. I let them speak out at will, right? I'm not calling anyone out. I'm not asking anyone to give their testimony. But I just want to say that to you, Deirdre, because I get it. We're online. People are concerned. I don't know if this is really worth it. Listen, when I was getting my doctorate, right, up on the top, on the wall, when I was getting that, I needed an editor. My dissertation chair was like, Doc, just get you an editor and wrap this up real fast. And I was like, cool. So I got a few quotes. One quote was $700 from an old school editor. She was old as Granny. I'll just say that. Love you, Granny. And I say that to say she didn't want to make any phone calls. Everything had to be through email. And it wasn't like a timely response. Like if I emailed her at 7 in the morning, she emailed me at 9 p.m. that night. Same day, but I'm like, holy cow. The other person answered all my calls, quick responses. They were charging me $350. Y'all know who I went with, right? I'm going to see if y'all think y'all know Dr. Lewis. Do you think I paid the $700 for my editing for my dissertation or the $350? $350. Type it in the comments. What do you think I paid? $700 or $350? You're like, come on, Dr. Lewis, we don't want to get quizzed. There you go. There you go. Good guess. And here's what I got. I got that doctorate up there. And I got all this stuff that, just comes with it. I'm gonna knock down my whole house. Because I made that sacrifice. Money well spent. Money well spent. Where'd my pen go? And here's the thing about personal growth, Deirdre, and everyone. Personal growth is an investment. It is an investment. And when you do this personal growth work, you don't do it for today. You do it for your future. So if we're doing some sessions on setting some big goals, you're doing that for your future. And we're taking the steps to see through and achieve those big goals. I'm trying to see where my pen went. I had all my tools here. I lost my little pen. It was my favorite pen. It's like my kids when an airplane flies over. They're like, that's my favorite airplane. I'm like, well, shoot, you got like 5,000 favorite airplanes. When you make those sacrifices, it's money well spent. That's why I do this work. It's not for a paycheck. It's because I know I can help people navigate. It's not about being cute at all. It's about hard work and sacrifices. What are you willing to commit to with consistency and faith? Your personal growth has to be grounded in faith. It has to be grounded in faith. Faith is something that you can't see. So you can't see the air that you breathe, right? You just do it. So faith is something that should be unwavering. Your faith shouldn't be challenged, or it could be challenged. Let me correct that. It shouldn't be swayed because you don't see an outcome. You don't see results. Faith is something we can't see. And just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not working. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. But that's our problem, though. We've been so conditioned as a society, like we want to see everything. We want to see everything. I'm telling you right now, stop that way of thinking. A lot of people don't set goals because they don't believe those goals will come into fruition. And then they'll say things like, I can't do that. And then I'll say something like this. Henry Ford said, whether you believe you can or can't, you are right either way. Stop telling yourself you can't. We can find a million reasons why we can't do something when all we need is one. Oh, don't even get me started. Validation. We look for validation from people. From people. I got this idea. Let me run it by you and see if it's any good. How? Why? And then here's where we struggle. We seek validation from people that have not put forth a good idea in the first place. We seek validation from people that aren't living in their dream home, working their dream job. We seek validation from disgruntled people. Why? Why? Where do we get that from? We seek validation from people that aren't leveling up. We seek validation from comfortable people. We seek validation from people that are just chilling. What you up to? I'm just chilling. Hey, what you trying to better yourself? Nah, I'm chilling. Okay, well, let me run my idea by you. I told you earlier, those of you that know me, you already know my background's in education. The best piece of advice I got early in my career when I was in grad school trying to get certified was, listen, you want to get a job? I said, yeah. Get yourself in front of these superintendents at the top of the organization. Go in there, shake their hand, talk with them, share your philosophy, your beliefs. I took that advice and my network went kaboom. I was like, wow. So what do I do now? When people approach me for coaching and they want an educational job or something in the school district, I'll say to them, do you know any superintendents? Guess what I hear all the time? No. So who's been coaching and advising you? You know, I'll see people, I work with a lot of doctoral students as well. And I'll ask them, who's been advising you? Oh, someone that has a master's degree. And I'm not knocking that, but what I'm saying is get some advice from some people that are doing the things you aspire to do. If you want to be a psychologist, get a psychologist in your network. If you want to coach football, get some football coaches in your network. If you want to be an author, Get some authors in your network. And I'm going to tell you this. I know I was talking about validation, right? But it's also about credibility. The minute you say something that's not credible, it's a wrap. It is a wrap. You don't stand a chance because they're on to the next person that is credible. They're on to the next person that is credible. I tell that to doctoral students all the time when I'm reading their research. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean that 1 in 15 people eat ham sandwiches? Where'd you get that from? They're like, I don't know. I know some people don't eat pork. Okay, is it research somewhere? Because if it's not, get rid of this nonsense. The minute you put something up there that's your opinion, that's factual or not factual, it's a wrap. Rosalind, I see you. You know what I'm talking about, though. You know what I'm talking about. But I just want to circle back to that validation piece. We are grown adults. I think. I know TikTok be letting little kids on here. That's why I try to go live a little later, bedtime. We need to make sure that our children, our next generation, understand you don't need validation from people. You don't need validation from people. Stop it. And part of that comes from what I talked about at the top of the hour with the live. I said, how many of you set small goals? A ton of people flooded the chat. Yeah, number one, I set small goals. Why? You're trying to create a sense of accomplishment and validation. You don't need that. It's kind of like the go big or go home. You either going to set a big goal or you're not. You need to set no small goals. Here's the crazy part when I talk about goal setting with people in lives and clients and groups and different things, right? People are like, oh, I'm not really into goal setting. If you go to a store and buy you some Friendly's vanilla ice cream, some hot fudge topping, whipped cream, Cool Whip, an ice cream cone, some maraschino cherries, you have set a goal, my friend. Your goal is to make an ice cream sundae. You set goals. People have to stop acting like they don't set goals. You set goals, right? They may be small, but you set goals. So why can't you apply that same energy to setting a big goal? Hey, greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome. Those of you that are just jumping in here, greetings and welcome. Be mindful. We are setting goals all the time. Consciously or subconsciously. Intentionally or unintentionally. Right? Intentionally, when we have this goal book, when we have a journal, and we're putting our thoughts, our visions, our aspirations in here. Unintentionally, like I said, when you go to the store, you're like, what should I eat tonight? Oh, Friendly's got the ice cream 2 for $5. Your goal is to get a deal and then go make that sundae. So just be mindful. Be mindful. Buy quarters. So we've covered a lot during this live. We talked about faith. We talked about goals. We talked about validation. And in short, just to close off the piece on validation, you only need validation when you're parking the car. That's it. Rosalind's like, buy quarters. Yep. Get you some quarters then. Pay that meter. You only need validation when you're parking your car. Yep. And Rosalind, I'm going to circle back to what you said. Is putting yourself out there really the hardest part? Because here's the other thing, right? It depends on your lens. We all come to the table with a different lens, right? For some people, the hardest part is the success. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. For some people, the hardest part is actually experiencing the success because it changes you. It changes the responsibilities that you have, and it changes the expectations that people have of you. Yep. There's different levels to it, Rosalind. Just like procrastination, right? Some people procrastinate because they fear failure. Some people procrastinate, which means stall and slow down and don't move forward fast, don't run towards your success. They procrastinate because they fear success. Well, if I get this role, if I get this new position, they're going to have a higher level of expectations from me. It's going to take more brain power. That's what they think. And again, a lot of this is our conditioning. Our conditioning comes from our family structure growing up, our peer group, the media. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rosin, you like, wow, you like, Doc, you dropping some facts. Doc, keep going. You like, hey, if y'all want me to keep going, type keep going in the chat. Keep going, Doc. Put it out there. Put it in the chat. Y'all want me to keep going? I got you. Because here's another thing I'm going to tell you all right now. When we talk about fearing success, I get the discomfort. Here's why it's not comfortable. Because we're not prepared for what's next. Thank you, Roz. I see you. We're not prepared for what's next. How do you? I was going to pin that comment, but TikTok is being all TikToky on me. Keep going. I got you. We're not prepared for what's next. And what I mean by that is to prepare for what's next, you need to have a vision of yourself at your best. Here's what a lot of people do with their visions. They go to themselves at their worst. You need to have a vision of yourself at your best. At your best. Whatever it is, nice hairdo, nails done, nice tie clip, nice suit, whatever it is, create that vision of you at your best and continue to visit that vision. We do the opposite. We visit our struggles. We visit our failures. We visit all those unpleasant memories. And sometimes we don't just visit, we actually move in and live there. So when you notice people are stuck, or when you're stuck yourself, is because you haven't visited those places that are unpleasant, those memories, those thoughts, those experiences. You haven't visited. You have brought your bags with you, unpacked, and settled in, and you now live there. Doesn't mean you have to stay there, but you have to accept the fact that, look, I live here now. The first step to moving away from that is acknowledging through your awareness where you are. And if you do it from a place of having a reality check, checking in with your core values and beliefs, the work is easy from there. Y'all like, Doc, what do you mean? I got you. Let me explain. Here's where the work is difficult. When you work with a coach, therapist, psychologist, professional, whoever, and they have to bring you to a place of understanding where you are. That's what makes the work challenging. When you can reflect and say, this is where I am, it's easier to make some changes because you already are on board with where you are and no one has to bring you to that place. Oh yeah. This happens throughout our personal lives. It happens in our professional workplace cultures. Some people are just walking and they're like, I don't see nothing wrong with this place. So what are we trying to fix? Everything's fine, right? Whew. Y'all got me going today. Y'all got me going. And here's the other thing. Think about your morning routine. Some of you are like, Doc, I don't have a morning routine. If you woke up today, yesterday, the day before, and all those other days prior, you got a morning routine. It may be a little chaotic, right? Your morning routine may flat out just be chaos. But again, your awareness, if you could acknowledge, this is where I am when I wake up. This is what I do. This is how I do it. This is how it makes me feel. Then we are in a great place to change some things and make some adjustments for you to live a great life, for you to live the life that you truly want. Here's the other thing. I said something very critical. The life that you truly want. As a coach, I've been on TikTok for a little bit over a year, but I've been coaching for a lot longer. And I come across all kinds of people. There are people that don't want to change at all, and that's fine. Don't come my way. There are people that truly love negativity and drama. There are people that wake up and they jump right to negativity. Even if they were grabbing their phone, they're not grabbing their phone for a guided meditation. They're grabbing their phone for the latest news. They're grabbing their phone for the latest drama, who got cheated on, right? Or for the latest fear mongering. What's going to happen in my city and state? What's going to happen to our coast? What's going to happen next, right? All negative spaces. But it's so ingrained. It's such a routine. They don't even notice. Just what they do. And then there's people on the flip side of that, right? Wake up, grab their goal book, start doing that, thanking the Lord for the gift. Because each day is a gift. Oh my gosh, Roslyn. Got to lift our frequency, gratitude, and love. Roslyn, holy moly. Yes, listen. Gratitude and love will instantly change your frequency. I recently gave a speech. It was a speech commemorating the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And it was such an honor to do that work. The photo is actually on my page. It was such an honor. In the middle of my speech, I asked the whole crowd, and I said it like this. I said, I've never met Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., but I got a good feeling standing here right now. He's smiling down on us, I promise you. And here's the question I asked. How many of you smiled today? And I'm going to ask you all right now. So put 1 in the comments if you've been smiling. Put 2 if you haven't, but you need to. 1 in the comments if you smiled today. And I gave some wait time. I was patient. And then I said, you don't even have to answer that question publicly. Just reflect on it. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to smile. And then I'm modeling, right? So I'm smiling too. I want you to smile because here's why. When you smile, it changes your vibrational frequency, also known as your mood, your state. So when you're in that negative state, your subconscious mind, comma, your brain, comma, your central nervous system can't tell the difference between a real experience or a thought. So just smiling is going to give you a dose of oxytocin. Feel good hormone. And when you smile to someone else, I'm giving you a dose right now. When you smile to someone else, they get a dose of oxytocin. And when they smile back, you get a dose as well. How much money did that cost? But how profound is that? How much potential did I just share with you in terms of changing your mood? And Roz, I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm so glad you brought that up. There we go. There we go. Let's go. Let's talk. And I remember, like I said, my background's in education. I was an education leader for a while. I remember seeing a student crying one day, bawling their eyes out. And I walk over to the student, hey, what's going on? And they gave me the look, and I was like, okay. I said, where you going? They told me they're going to a counselor. And I said, okay. I knew it was a problem. I said, here's what I want you to do. Stop walking for a sec. Did you know that if you smile for 30 seconds, it's going to change how you're feeling? And they shook their head no. Thank you, Rosalind. I got you back. I said, so let's do this together. Let's smile right now. And we smiled for 30 seconds. And I had to tell the student, I said, hey, keep breathing. I'm smiling. Keep breathing. Okay. Keep going. Okay. And after we did our 30 seconds, I said, how do you feel now? No more tears at this point. And they did this. I said, okay. I walked them the rest of their way. And we parted ways. Smiling. So powerful. So underutilized. So underutilized. I got you, Rosalind. Listen, I don't know if it was you, but someone earlier said, I might have to book a session. Book that session. Listen, jump into my bio. The link's in my bio, my link tree, or you could just send me a direct message. My link tree has my calendar and all that good stuff. I am going to try to write my email in here, but sometimes good old TikTok. My email is drlewis@coachdrlewis.com. Let's see if I can write that in here. Let's see if I can pin the comment. Oh, it won't let me pin it. Thanks a lot, TikTok. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we've covered a lot this evening. I hope this has influenced someone. If it's influenced more than one person, I've done an exceptional job. If it only influenced one person, okay, I hit a goal. Those of you that have been with me for the hour, much gratitude. Thank you to you all. Those of you that have been tapping the screen, that have shared the live, thank you. Much gratitude. And as Rosalind wrote earlier, gratitude and love. And here's the thing, Rosalind, and everyone in this space, my topic is positivity and motivation, Christina. How can we help you? How can we inspire, motivate, influence you? Here's the thing, Rosalind. All the research on personal growth and development, out of all the research, and let's just say out of my last 10 books that I've purchased just to be relevant and remain current on the topic, 2 themes are common in all the research and in my last 10 books that I've read and purchased. Gratitude and feeling good. 2 things. Gratitude and feeling good. You can't go wrong with those 2 things because guess how much they cost? It's free, but they are so underutilized and so underestimated. So like I said, my last 10 books, right? And I'll say this, there aren't even big sections within those books, but those terms are there. And one thing I did, I was trying to do like a cross check. I was like, let me see what's the most common themes of all this research, all the books I have in my library. And I found gratitude and feeling good. I'm like, okay. There you go. And that's the thing, Christina. Thank you for joining us, by the way. Christina, you jumped in here and you just like, you're right on the ball. Yes. And here's the thing. We talked, and you weren't here, Christina, but we talked about validation. So when you look at validation, right, seeking validation from other people, that's where we allow other people to take things from us. Because we sit here and we're like, well, I got this good idea, but let me run it by you so I can make sure it's good. And we don't even listen to what we just said. Let me repeat that. I got this good idea. I know it's good. It's my idea, right? Let me run it by you so I can see if it's good. What? I'm going to be vulnerable and honest for a moment. So early in my leadership career, I was doing like this national webinar. And it's a great webinar, by the way. It's on YouTube. Don't look me up. And I was sending out, letting people know, hey, this webinar, blah, 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 blah. My organization promoted it. And someone close to me on a professional relationship, professional level, said this to me. I'm going to watch that webinar. And I'm thinking, cool. But what they said next was like, wow, I'm going to watch that webinar, Dr. Lewis, so I could see how smart you really are. I was like, is there another Dr. Lewis standing behind me? It's like, what did you just say to me? Okay. So fast forward, When I had some follow-up engagements, some public speaking and things, that person was not notified. I did not have a conversation with them about where and the whereabouts of the next engagement, because I'm just like, you know what? I don't need validation, and I don't need validation from people like that. I want to see how smart you really are. Go read my dissertation. Go Google it. Go pay the fee or whatever. It's funny because early in my leadership career, I remember I took a job, my first leadership job actually, and the organization was like, "Hey, we were trying to find your dissertation online." I was like, "Oh, great. How'd it go? Why are you charging us to read your dissertation?" I was like, "First of all, I'm not charging you anything. I got it at my house in my library." Well, the organization that has your, they're charging us a fee. Okay, you really want to read it? Go pay their fee. Like, why do, like, we got to stop with this validation thing. Here's the thing I'll say. We have become as a society addicted to validation. And I'm not talking about the valet parking, because that's the only time I do believe we need validation, valet parking, or to get our parking validated. Like we go into the doctor's office and we're in this parking garage. Yeah, get it validated. Absolutely. Tell them Dr. Lewis told you you should. Yep. Even if they don't validate, tell them, well, Dr. Lewis said you should validate. Try it. Let me know how it works. But we've become so addicted to validation. Everything is, let me hear what someone else says. Even with our relationships, we have a conflict with our partner and we want to tell someone. Well, let me just tell someone just so people could understand my side. You are in a partnership. Share your side. If your partner doesn't understand, that's okay, as long as you're heard. And guess what? If you do it the right way and you finesse it a little bit, you'll be heard and then listened to when your partner is ready to listen to you. Whew, we are reinforcing the negative. Listen, Christina, when we wake up and we grab our device and we scroll, we turn on the news, we go out front to get our newspaper, must be nice, we are reinforcing the negative. I got people that I coach that would tell me, well, the news was on, they were bashing my political party and this and that, and this certain news station always does that. And I say, why do you keep tuning into that news station? Why do you keep giving them your ratings, your views? Why? We're reinforcing it. We're reinforcing it. Christina, I love that. I love that. Salute to you for being vulnerable and being honest, because we were talking before you got in here about the power of awareness. We have to be aware. And I got to be aware of the time, because you all are my TikTok fam, and I told the Lewis fam that I would be done a little bit early. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to bring us to a close. I appreciate you all. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you tapping the screen. Again, my name is Dr. Lewis, your favorite coach. My email is drlewis@coachdrlewis.com. Okay? Also, I go live every Wednesday at 7. All right? Those that just jumped in here, I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. Those of you that have been here from the moment we started, thank you, salute, much gratitude to you all. Wishing you all a positive evening. And I want you to be positive on purpose. Time difference. Okay, I'm 7 p.m. Eastern time. What do you got? Okay, thank you. Yep. And listen, I just gotta drop this one gem. Okay, in Texas. Okay, I gotta drop this gem before I sign off. Cali, West Coast. Okay. I gotta drop this gem before I sign off. We gotta stop ignoring the warning signs. I tell people all the time, I don't believe in coincidences. Everything happens for a reason. And I know it sounds cliche, but it's so true. Like when I was running late and I got on the highway and this light pole fell across the highway, like 2 cars in front of me, and I had enough time to actually jump off the exit. Like, everything happens for a reason. But we got to stop ignoring the warning signs. Like, your car has a check engine light, right? Some of you like, nah, I got a 68. Okay, well, start putting then. It does something. It gives you a warning. Something ain't right. So right now, when my cell phone and my iPad are telling me you got 5%. I mean, they don't talk like that, right? But they give me that indicator on the screen. So we gotta stop ignoring the warning signs, especially when I was supposed to eat dinner at 6 and the family's waiting. Listen, just wanted to share that with you all. Listen to the warning signs. Listen to your body. And when you get really in tune, especially with this personal growth work, I promise you, your hunches and intuitions like kick up like times 10. Woo, Kella, listen. All you that are regulars with me know I'm a runner. There was 1 week where I decided not to run. And let me just tell you, there were so many accidents in the running lane. I call it the running lane. I know the bikers are like, oh no, it's the biking lane. Whatever, it's the extra lane on the side of the road that you're not supposed to put your car in. There were so many accidents along my route. And then a few weeks later, there was one that closed down an intersection. And then another week, there was one where a trailer truck ran into the stone wall on one of the corners that I run through as part of my route. So when you get really in tune, your hunches and intuitions kick in like times 10. So there's living proof right there. If you need a reason, if you're like, why should we talk to Doc? I'm giving it to you all. These are some things that I experienced, and these are some things that have guided my success and how I operate. Why do I need to keep them to myself? Why should I keep them to myself? That's the problem with our world. We have too many people that have some knowledge around something, and they are coveting that knowledge. You're like, nah, happens in education, happens professionally. I inundate myself with positive affirmations. And Christina, I'm just going to say this and I'm going to go. Christina, if you don't live by those affirmations, especially if they're posters and things, if you don't live by those, they just become posters. If you don't live by your written affirmations, your spoken affirmations, they just become words. So you got to have the actions. And that's what people lack when they consume content. Like when you all walk away tonight, some action steps. Okay, Dr. Lewis said goal setting. I'm going to start doing that. And here's the thing. You don't even have to do it the right way. Just start. Because if you start, we can refine it. But if you don't start, there's nothing to refine. There's nothing to give you feedback on. There's nothing to say do it this way on. So just start. Stop waiting for validation. You are enough and your ideas are great. You all have been a great group. Have a great night, everyone.